Welcome to this explainer. Okay, let's be totally honest for a second. Just hearing the word networking is usually enough to give most of us this slight feeling of dread, right? We instantly picture forced smiles, overly firm handshakes, and standing awkwardly in the corner of some sterile conference room holding a lukewarm cup of coffee. It just feels unnatural. Well, today, we are setting the stage for a cinematic paradigm shift. We're going to completely rewire how you think about connecting with others, drawing on the incredibly powerful concepts from Keith Ferrazzi's book, Never Eat Alone. This isn't about collecting business cards to see who has the biggest stack. No, it's about the very real power of genuine relationships.
Let me ask you a somewhat tough, but absolutely necessary question. Do you only network when you're desperate? Think about how agonizingly awkward it is to reach out to someone you literally haven't spoken to in 3 years just because you suddenly lost your job, or you desperately need a client, or you want a huge favor. I mean, by the time you actually need the help, reaching out feels entirely transactional and, well, kind of self-serving. We've all been there, and it never feels good. The person on the receiving end knows exactly why you're calling out of the blue, and it instantly puts this massive strain on the interaction.
Section 1. The real meaning of networking. Authentic connections over transactions.
To really grasp this, we need to completely separate the outdated, opportunistic approach from the modern, sustainable one. Think of old networking as the "what can I get" approach. It's highly transactional, focused on hoarding contacts as if they were baseball cards, and relying heavily on flashy charm. But new networking, that's the "how can I help" mindset. It's entirely focused on long-term relationship building, leading with radical generosity, and actually showing up with authenticity. It is a complete 180-degree turn from what most of us were traditionally taught in the corporate world.
The absolutely crucial point here is perfectly captured in Keith Ferrazzi's core belief. Success is a team sport. It sounds simple, sure, but it's profound. Whether your goal is finding better career opportunities, driving massive business growth, seeking out mentors, or just gaining personal support, you literally cannot do it alone. Your network is, without a doubt, one of your biggest assets. But here's the catch. That asset only holds value if it's built on a solid foundation of mutual trust and consistency, not just opportunistic grabbing when you're in a pinch.
And because of that trust factor, authenticity matters far, far more than charm. Actually, scratch that whole smooth talker image entirely. You don't need to be the loudest person in the room, and you definitely don't need a perfectly polished elevator pitch. In fact, people connect so much more deeply with someone who is sincere, reliable, and emotionally present. Think about it for a second. Who would you rather recommend for a job? A flashy extrovert using worn-out networking tricks? Or someone who is genuinely interested in you, who listens well, and who shows up as their real self? Authenticity builds the kind of deep trust that charm simply cannot fake.
Okay, moving right along to Section 2. Build before you need it. The generosity engine. So what does this actually look like in practice? Well, in the context of relationship building, generosity means beginning your interactions with 4 simple, incredibly powerful words. How can I help? This is the generosity engine in action. Giving before you get is honestly the ultimate relationship growth hack. When people feel that you genuinely care about their success and that you aren't just looking for a quick payout, it builds deep trust, it builds familiarity, and it creates a rock-solid reputation for you as someone who brings real value.
You might be wondering, how do we actually do this in the real world without burning out? It doesn't have to be massive gestures. It can be as simple as introducing 2 people who could really benefit from knowing each other, or maybe sharing an article that perfectly aligns with a project they're working on. Honestly, one of the most powerful things you can do is simply remember what matters to them. If a colleague mentions their kid is playing in a big soccer tournament, ask them how it went the next time you talk. Ferrazzi himself is famous for hosting these amazing dinner parties specifically to connect people from completely different walks of life. By curating value for others in these specific, thoughtful ways, you prove you're actually listening.
Let's dive into Section 3, Everyday Moments and Follow-Ups, the Everyday Toolkit.
Never eat alone. Yes, it's the title of the book, but it's also a brilliantly simple, highly effective habit. I mean, you have to eat anyway, right? You commute, you grab coffee. Ferrazzi suggests using these casual, built-in routine moments to make meaningful human connections. Invite a colleague to lunch, grab coffee with an acquaintance you'd like to know better, strike up a conversation while traveling. It's all about turning those mundane, everyday routines into powerful relationship-building moments. You don't need a fancy gala to network.
Now, this next part is where the vast majority of people fail. Follow-up. People have a great first meeting and then, well, basically radio silence. Instead, right after that first meeting, send a quick thank you note.
Then make a point to check in periodically over the first few months with something actually relevant to them. By the time they hit a milestone or get a promotion a year down the line, be the one to congratulate them. This exact flow moves someone from a person I met once at a conference to someone I actually know and trust. Relationships grow through the follow-up, not just the first impression.
Section 4. Your Relationship Action Plan. Intentional Execution. So, let's get practical. Here is exactly how you can manage and expand your network starting today. Step 1. Make a reconnect list. Literally write down the names of people you've lost touch with and actually reach out to them. Step 2. Identify mentors, peers, and, crucially, people you can help right now. Step 3. Put it in the calendar. Schedule regular follow-ups so you don't forget. And Step 4. Nurture those relationships consistently over time. When you follow these specific steps, networking stops being this vague, guilt-inducing intention and becomes a structured, highly effective habit.
But listen, there is one vital ingredient to make this entire plan work. You absolutely must share your goals. Your network cannot open doors for you if they have no idea what doors you're standing in front of. You need to clearly communicate what you are trying to build, the specific opportunities you're looking for, your core strengths, and exactly how others can help you. Don't keep your ambitions a secret from the people who want to see you win. When you contribute meaningfully to others, they are going to want to help you back, but you have to give them the map to do it.
So let's wrap this up with a question for you to ponder. Who will you reach out to today? And I mean reach out not because you need a favor or because you're looking for a job, but simply to offer value and practice that generosity engine we've been talking about. Don't wait until you're desperate. Start building your team right now. Because remember, success is a team sport. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer. Now get out there and make a real connection today.